It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, hello. Hey, it is Friday, February 10th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, however you are watching or listening to Woodward Sports. We appreciate you if you're checking us out on Apple, iTunes. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. We would absolutely appreciate that. Subscribe to the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz podcast on Apple. That would be fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, the one, the only, Braylon Edwards.
You are too kind, my friend. How are you doing?
Very good. You know, did you like the one?
I saw it.
You see it?
I saw it. I heard
it.
I saw it. I heard it. I peeped it. I appreciate it, as always. I'm good about everything except, first and foremost, Maz, how you doing before I go into my spiel?
Happy Super Friday, everybody.
Get Maz involved here
Super
real quick
Friday.
before Braylon goes off for the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, might be. No, I promise you it won't be that. It's Friday. I gotta save my energy for the big game. But can we stop with the LeBron celebration?
Please.
Yeah.
Can we stop with
what in the world?
Listen, when we talked about LeBron on Wednesday after he attained the record on Tuesday evening, I came on here. I delegated on his behalf. I talked about what an accomplishment it was, et cetera, even though he stopped in the middle of a game in which they lost. Here we are, 2 days later, Thursday night, in another game at Crypto, in which he didn't play in. Before the game, they have James Worthy, Laker great.
Number 42.
One of the best players of all time, big game James. Master of ceremonies with the red carpet out there. They bring LeBron and Savannah and Bryce and Bronny. Everybody always forgets the daughter's name. I do apologize. And his daughter out there. They come back out. He gives another 25-minute dissertation on why he's the best. And thank you to the fans and thank you to the people. And I'm past Kareem and I believe I'm the best. Then I noticed in the distance there's a Spalding basketball with a jazzed up crown on the ball. Adam Silver, what are we doing? We get it. David Stern was Michael Jordan. That was his guy. That's what got him through. We know LeBron is your guy. LeBron is your Michael Jordan. We get it. But you could just stop preaching the message. He didn't play. They didn't win. They're 13th place in the West. When is enough? We got it. He passed Kareem. You're trying to make the conversation stick forever so there's something to talk about. Can we stop talking about LeBron James passing Kareem and being arguably better than Michael Jordan? Can we try to get them at least to the playoffs?
You didn't hear about what's going on Sunday, the latest about Sunday?
Oh, my God. What now?
Rihanna's bringing him out to give him the red carpet at the halftime show.
Are you joking?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
You did a good job.
You almost had me.
You almost had me,
I was getting pissed already.
I was like, my God. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not, but... I mean, it'd be different if they were number one in the West right now. So I don't know, but it's just a little too much.
Colin Cowherd's got him in the playoffs.
I mean, they got much better with the move that they made, but I don't know if it's too little, too late. But the good thing about the NBA is they've added 2 teams, so LeBron can make the playoffs every year. So if he does make it, I mean, 13-10 is much easier than 13-8. So.
Very, very good. Guys, we got a big show for you today. Our good friend from Pro Football Focus, Ari Meirov, will join us.
And the 33rd team. Now.
And the 33rd team.
Yes,
the 33rdteam.com. He has moved on, absolutely. And we're going to hit all things NFL with him. The awards last night, the coaching vacancies that are going on right now, the Super Bowl, of course, where the quarterbacks are going to end up, the darkness retreat with Aaron Rodgers.
Brett Favre's suits.
I mean, there's so much to get to with Ari, so we will do that. Ari Meirov coming up 30 minutes from now, the 33rdteam.com. But we will start with Super Bowl 57 and the weekend first. The week that was. Last night we got the NFL honors, Braylon. And I got to tell you, I think these awards went to every single person that should have gotten the award. Now, the Man of the Year award, Dak Prescott, I don't have anything for that. I'll just take their word for it.
Right.
Sure, he's a great guy and does a lot of great work. But all 12 awards that were awarded last night, I thought they got them right.
Maz had this at 12:58, so I'm glad you said it. I'll bring it up now. I agree with you 100%. I only had asterisk by one of the awards. And it wasn't that I disagree with who they voted with, per se. I disagree with how they got there, per se. You look at Dak Prescott, Man of the Year. We see him all the time. He's the nicest, most visible player in the NFL that does community work currently right now. Patrick Mahomes, simply spectacular. Brian Daboll, he did the most with the least this year. Maz hit the nail on the head. He's been talking about Brian Daboll probably the last 5 weeks in terms of who's going to get it. Maz nailed that one. Geno Smith, he started the season off with the comeback line of the year. They wrote me off, but I didn't write back. And then he lived up to it the whole season. He had to win. They got that one right. Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. Best player on the best defense. Justin Jefferson, he's the most dominant player on the field, not a quarterback. And we know that award came into play because you want to give some love to other offensive players because it's going to be the quarterback that wins MVP every year. The only throwback I have or pushback I have is how they got to Garrett Wilson beating K9. So K9 received the most first-place votes
for offensive rookie
of the year. But because he received the fewer second and third-place votes, when you do the tally, Garrett Wilson won and was able to beat K9. When did they start tallying all these three up to get who should win? The person that should win is the person that gets the what? Most first-place votes. So last year, I believe that K9 got robbed for his second year in a row because he should have been in New York for the Heisman, and he should have won Offensive Player of the Year by the numbers. So I think they got that part right. Got that part wrong. Everything else right.
How about Sauce?
Sauce 100%. That Detroit speech, it sent chills through my vibe.
Yeah,
like Detroit is one of those cities that is Detroit versus everybody for a reason. Detroit gets crapped on, and then very rarely do we have individuals that can stand up for the 313. And what he did last night, he stood up for the 313, man. He talked about the East Side, talked about King High School, talked about his mom being a superhero. Sauce Gardner did Detroit and himself very proud last night.
Amen.
I thought that was just the best part of the night, obviously,
Well,
right? Damar Hamlin, geez, that was, man, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I've kind of, if I'm being totally honest with you, I was kind of over the Damar Hamlin story a little bit, just the oversaturation of it. I get it. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. But last night we walked out on that stage and they had all the doctors and nurses and all of the support staff and everybody that helped save his life. You saw just how many people it takes to save one life. And I thought that was remarkable. I got goosebumps while watching that.
Amen.
I got goosebumps watching Sauce Gardner just think back to his roots and how he got on that stage, had his mom at the award ceremony. Like there's you just want people to be good, right? You want people to be good, and when Damar Hamlin's talking about this experience that he's had, when a doctor comes over and says, "Yeah, I had the same thing. I'm okay. You're gonna be okay." You want Damar Hamlin to be good. When Sauce Gardner's on that stage talking about 7 Mile and the violence growing up and how tough it was, to see him wearing that big chain in that beautiful suit on that grand stage in front of the spotlight on him with his mom right there next to him under his arm. What's better than that? There's nothing better than that.
But that's why individuals like Maz, that's why all of us, but I highlight Maz because you hear him talk about all the time. That's why Maz is falling in love with sport. Like in sport, from start to finish, there's just so many storylines, man. Whether it's the fans, whether it's, you talk about Damar Hamlin, you talk about Sauce Gardner, where he's from, you talk about there's so many different storylines in sports that bring you in as a captivated fan, that bring you in as a member. You don't have to be from Detroit to watch Sauce Gardner's speech last night and be enthralled by it. You don't have to have suffered from what Damar Hamlin suffered from to see everybody else have empathy as you as well. Like, sports is one of a kind.
That's why I live in my bubble. I live in my sports and my
I'm
little
not mad at it, man.
60s, 70s, 80s music bubble. I don't care about politics. I really don't give a damn about much of anything. I don't like haters. I like love.
Say it again, man.
Peace and love and sports. That's to me, and family, obviously. Family's first, sports is second. But it was great.
Yeah.
They did a great job last night.
They did.
They really did.
I think that was the 12th year that they did something like that. And I think it's a really well done. Now, I got to tell you, I don't know about Kelly Clarkson. If she dropped one more y'all, I was going to just nothing. I'm not going to do anything
Kelly.
about it. But
I fast forwarded her.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on with all this y'all and y'all and y'all. I mean, we get it, y'all. I mean, come on, man.
They did wear the 88 though.
That is the one thing I would say where since they've started to now, they've gotten progressively. I don't want to say bad. I don't want to diss Kelly Clarkson because she was okay, but it was very annoying at some point. It got
Just
to
so
be too
annoying.
much, and then she kept saying, "I got the mic. It's okay. I can say that. I'm a fan." And blah blah. It got annoying. When they first started, it was all about the monologue. The very first person to host, rest in peace, was Norm Macdonald. And then after Norm Macdonald, it was
Boy, Norm was great.
Norm was amazing. He's rest in peace. He was until the end. What's Alec Baldwin? He did 3 years in a row, and then I can't think of who was next.
He
But
ain't
it was the
doing it now.
monologue, and very true. It was the monologue, and then they kind of let the show go on. They let the show be the show, and brought people on to do the show. Now it's so much of the host. Kelly Clarkson, I get it. You're Dallas. It was too much. I like the original format with do the big monologue by the comedian or set performer, and then kind of roll with the
Well,
show.
they got it's what do you call it? It's the Voice. It's NBC.
Yeah, no, it is.
They're going to
True.
put their host on there, and that's
Is
their
she
big
still,
show.
does she still do
Oh,
that show?
I think
Yeah,
she
for
does.
sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
She's
she
getting
does.
broke the hell off.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Aidan Hutchinson, by the way, finished second. I think he got one first place vote
He
or
did.
something like that.
Dan
Aidan-
Campbell got a vote.
Yeah, he did. I thought there was one vote for the Bills assistant trainer,
Yes.
one fifth place vote for MVP for
Yes.
him. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
For the Bills trainer that
Yeah.
did the CPR and saved
Amen.
Mar Hamlin's life.
Yeah, 100%. That
Talk
was
about
great.
MVP. That was pretty cool. Aidan Hutchinson did not win the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And if I'm being totally honest with you, I don't think he should have. I thought Sauce Gardner was the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I know the numbers, a lot of them weren't
No.
there, but he didn't have the attempts either. I mean, no, he just basically in his first year took half the field away already. I'll say this, though, about Aidan Hutchinson. I'm kind of glad he didn't win. I hate awards. I think awards are just... I never liked them. I was never into them. But I do think once you are up for an award, if you lose the award, I think you come back with a little bit more fire in the next year. I think you start...
You mean like Micah?
Like Micah Parsons,
Yeah.
who didn't get any first place votes.
No, there's definitely something. There's definitely something to that. It's that want to come back. You heard Michael Parsons says, "All right, I see y'all next year." Like that's serious business. I remember sophomore year at Michigan, I thought I was first team All Big Ten. Got second team All Big Ten. Bust my ass in the off season because I wanted to be first team. Then at my junior year, I was first team All Big Ten, but I thought I was All American. I made second team All American. Going back, I bust my ass to get back to it, and I made All American first team. But it's something where you fall short. You know, the people that fall short want to be great, or the people that want to be dope, like Aidan Hutchinson, they're gonna look at that and be like, "It means I just have more work to do." You see, Michael Parsons
right.
like, "It just means I have more." You want people on your squad to have that attitude. You don't want people that, "Oh man, I should have won," and leave it at that. You want the people like Aidan that are gonna go in that lab this year and they're gonna perform.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like I get it. And even Micah came back and said everybody on that list deserved to be on that list, and that's where it should have been. But I'm just putting you on notice for next year.
Super Bowl 57, gang. Chiefs and Eagles will break it down why the Philly fans should get nervous. Very nervous. We'll break that down for you. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts. Have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what's important to you stays safe. Customized solutions from real experts. Technology backed by people. Call this number right here. 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again. 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers. And if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, look at me. Don't I look good? I am living proof that Custom Health Centers works. They work for you. A customized approach to weight loss, down over 16 pounds since I started the program. What is the program? It's unique to you. It's what your body needs. That's why it's Custom Health Centers.
Custom.
They take the willpower out of weight loss, whether you need to lose 20 pounds, 120 pounds. Call Custom Health Centers right now, 844-789-THIN. That number again, 844-789-THIN.
Thin to win.
It is Friday, Super Bowl Friday, just a couple of days away.
Hold on. You thought I was going to let you get away. We're ruining our opening, ruining 3 topics in the first segment, just like you claimed Maz did yesterday, and not get on you.
Hey, man. Look. This is the sixth hour. This is the 6th hour I've been on the air today. I don't know what I'm talking about or what I'm saying.
This is true.
I'm just going on with it.
Sorry.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
I'm just talking.
I had to give you some grief.
My mouth is moving, but I really don't know what I'm saying.
It's okay. We're talking about the Chiefs and the Eagles.
And with that, we'll go.
Did you even look at Fill in the Blank Friday yet?
Yes, I did.
All right,
I've actually written down my answers, by the way. Thank you. I want to ask you guys this, because
surprised you didn't do that yet.
Everybody that I seem to talk to about Super Bowl 57, who you're rooting for.
Yeah.
And I've said this in the past too. I think this has been a little bit of a mundane Super Bowl week because both teams are so evenly matched. Both teams are very likable. Both teams have players that you want to win. Both teams you have a story that you want to see followed through with. But everybody still comes to the conclusion, that I talk to anyway, that the Eagles are the better team and they're going to win. Except me. I think the Chiefs are going to win. We'll do our picks, and I'm not talking about that right now, but there is a reason that Philly fans and Philadelphia Eagles players should be concerned, Braylon, correct?
100%. I mean, you look at it, and I think it's 2 great teams. They both deserve to be here. Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes leads the Kansas City Chiefs. God bless you over there. But when you really peel back the layers, Maz, you and I kind of talked about this as the playoffs have been going on, Ryan, you as well. Look at the NFC. Look at the NFC. Look at the road to the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. They play the Giants for the 3rd time. They play a 49ers team, which we thought was going to be an amazing contest with their 4th-string quarterback. Hell, Christian McCaffrey was the quarterback for the 49ers at one point. Then it makes you go back and look at the NFC versus the AFC as a whole. So much is made in college football. It's like the road to the national championship. You look at the SEC and you say, well, shoot, the SEC, they got to play. Ole Miss is just as good. Arkansas is just as good. Don't forget Georgia and Alabama. You get Kentucky down the line. So by the time they get to the national championship, they're battle tested. You look at their battle tested. When they get there, they know how to respond in the second half of a game. They know how to respond with the game on the line versus the Big Ten. Big Ten, you laugh at the schedule all year that Michigan played, all the way to TCU. You even laughed at TCU, which Michigan lost to, and then Michigan got to a spot and they weren't ready. That's how I kind of look at it this year. You look at the NFC, look at the road. And I stole this off the TV. I stole this from Colin in terms of the teams, the quarterbacks. Look at what the Eagles have been up against. Daniel Jones 3 times. Josh Johnson, Ryan Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Taylor Heineke, Davis Mills, Cooper Rush, Kyler Murray at the end, who was terrible, Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. They've played a bunch of terrible quarterbacks.
That is bad.
They've played a bunch of terrible teams. They played a bunch of horrible teams. Like, how good is this team really? But then you look on the other side on what the Chiefs have been through. They've been through the Bengals. They've been through a hard Jacksonville team that came back against the Chargers. They've been through that AFC gauntlet all season. Are the Eagles really, really, really prepared for Patrick Mahomes? Because when I look at that list of quarterbacks, ain't nobody on there close to how good Patrick Mahomes and his offense is. Not to mention how much they're underscoring how good that defense is, led by Chris Jones, who was up for Defensive Player of the Year. So when I look at it, has Philly played enough games against comparable opponents to be ready to play against this Kansas City Chiefs team? Just a question.
That was well said. Now I'm going to tell you, the Philadelphia Eagles are the real deal.
Right.
And I personally think if you put them right next to the Chiefs, and we put their stats up, and there you go again, Fletch put them up. They're identical stat-wise, except Philadelphia has got 15 more sacks as a team than the next closest competitor.
Yeah.
They have Jalen Hurts, who we don't know if he's 100%. You get that shoulder injury, and it's on his throwing arm. We don't know if he's 100%. Then you got Patrick Mahomes with the bad ankle on the other side. But if you put these teams next to each other, I really believe Philadelphia has got them beat. But Kansas City has Kelsey, and they have Patrick Mahomes. And I think that will be the difference in the game. But if you put these two teams together next to each other, I give the edge to Philly still, right?
I think both these teams are so evenly matched, and they both do. It's like good on good, right? I mean, you look at Mahomes and Kelsey, and then you look at some of the guys that are going to be, Valdez-Scantling and Sky
secondary
Moore,
players.
Juju Smith-Schuster on the outside. I mean, you're talking about friggin' Darius. First of all, the Eagles get to the quarterback. That's one.
Yeah.
And so Patrick Mahomes, how is that ankle? Is he going to be able to run around and keep plays alive? That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, is Darius Slay going to take half the field away? Because these wide receivers for the Chiefs are nobodies.
No.
I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster, Valdez-Scantling, Sky Moore, I don't want to call them nobodies. That's not fair. But none of them are number one receivers to go up against a guy one-on-one with Darius Slay. Is that fair to say?
No, 100%. Right now, they don't have a current number one on their team. They're trying to hope that Montez Valdez-Scantling, which we'll get into the X's and O's and who needs to be the breakout player for them to win, or who needs to be the if you will, you get what I'm talking about, the unsung hero. But, Darius Slay can match up against any number one in the NFL. They don't have any of those. You look at the other side, they're just as good. You look at it in the linebacker, Nick Bolton, they're really good up there. They match well, and Maz brought up a good point. That's why I said, should we be scared? Well, Maz, you kind of answered it in great fashion, saying, look at their stats. You look at their their defensive line. Josh Sweat, you look at Brandon Graham, you look at Robert Quinn, you look at what they've done. You look at Hassan Reddick and Ndamukong Suh. There's a reason.
Look at the back end with Gardner Johnson and Bradbury and Slay.
Bradbury.
I mean, come on.
They're loaded.
And it's crazy because we've been talking about Brandon. This is what talent does. And this is the reason why the Buffalo Bills went and got Von Miller from the Rams. This is because great players make players better. Look at Brandon Graham. He's always been a damn good player for the Eagles. Made huge plays when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, making the play, sack fumble against Tom. He's always floated around 5 sacks, 6 sacks. I think when he made the Pro Bowl, he was 8.5 sacks in 2015 or 16. He had 11 sacks this year. You know why? It's because the teammates around him made him step his game up. That defense, Maz, you point out, they are the real deal.
They are, man.
They are the real deal.
They're scary. I mean, you've been on the Philly wagon all year. We're the one that been trying to knock you off the Philly wagon all year. We had San Francisco. Well, they took care of them. Now they get Kansas City. I don't think it's the same Kansas City team that we've seen over the years. And I believe the Bengals would have been a better match against Philadelphia than Kansas City. That said, if Patrick Mahomes is okay, makes it through the game, I think him and Kelsey will somehow figure a way to win this game.
Yeah, the only difference about like the Bengals versus the Chiefs, they got Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes is that guy.
You talk about good on good in the regular season. The Chiefs were the number one passing offense. The Eagles were number one in sacks. So, what's going to give? Something has to give in that case. And I go back to this. I mean, how healthy is Patrick Mahomes? the other side, Jalen Hurts is not healthy either.
He's got a bad shoulder.
He hasn't completed a pass further than 15 yards all postseason. That's 2 games. Not completing one pass.
He didn't have to.
Beyond 15 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it
because
is.
you talk about the speed that they have with Devontae Smith on the outside.
Yeah, when you're talking about the difference in injuries, you're talking about a knee. You're talking about a shoulder.
I take that back. The 4th down play again with Devontae Smith
on the left-hand side.
The one that shouldn't have been a catch.
The one that shouldn't have been a catch.
Yeah, you're talking about bone versus ligament. You're talking about the ligament damage to the shoulder, and that's not necessarily going to get progressively better from the time that it happened into the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, a high ankle sprain is going to get better. The process for a high ankle sprain, you wake up 6 a.m., you're getting treatment at 6 a.m., you're icing, your stem, you're heating, you're doing your drills, you're doing your exercise. That gets better. That gets better over time. Look at the difference in when he was limping to a week later when he played in the AFC Championship. You think that's not going to get better from 2 weeks out? His ankle is going to be a lot better. That shoulder, we don't know what's going to happen when Jalen Hurts is going to have to force a 40-yard pass down the field. What if he has to really throw one from one side to the other side where it tears on it or it pulls on it? We really don't know how bad that shoulder is. We hope for the best because I don't want to see an NFC Championship round again. I don't want to see another week like that, another game like that.
Have you ever seen a game like this that's gotten, I bring it up again, you really don't hear about the Super Bowl. I have not really heard. Remember how we always used to be fatigued for the first
so
2
vanilla.
weeks?
Everything's so vanilla.
We're not hearing anything. We're not seeing the spread hasn't moved. It's 1.5.
Ticked up a little bit on the over. Ticked up a little bit.
It's 51, right?
It's now 51. It was at 50.5.
But the number 1.5. Philadelphia has the favorite still, and they are the home team. They're going to wear the green. Kansas City will wear the white. First time in the Super Bowl that they'll wear the white. So we'll see how it goes. But it's rare that a number don't move at all in 2 weeks.
I just don't think people know how to evaluate it because, people don't know how to evaluate the 2 quarterbacks and their health, Braylon. And I don't know if people really know how to evaluate, Philadelphia and their trek to the Super Bowl, as you had just mentioned. I just don't think they know how to evaluate it. And then you go on emotion, too. So many people, most people bet with emotion.
Yeah. Right.
You have very little emotion.
I don't have any. I can't believe it.
Very little emotional connection to either of these teams. Because I still sit here on, if you're watching live, it's Friday, February 10th at 2:27 p.m. If you're watching live. As I sit here right now, I am uncommitted on a team I'm rooting for. Who I want to win. Now, I think Kansas City is probably going to win because I think Mahomes is. I usually go with the best quarterback on the field when I pick. But I don't know if I even want that to happen because I look at Jalen Hurts' story and all, you know what I mean? How do you root against that guy? Yeah. If you anticipate one of these quarterbacks getting back to a Super Bowl, who would it be? Probably Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Unless you look at the NFC and you're like, man, these Eagles are pretty damn good. I don't think anybody can match them in the NFC right now. So I'm not so sure that's actually true.
Yeah, I think part of it is you look at the teams are evenly matched. You look how good the offensive line is for both teams. You look at how good the defensive line is for both teams. Look how good the quarterbacks, the offense, everything damn near matches up the same. Mass put the stats up via Fletch. He put the stats up and they're evenly matched all the way down. Now, the other thing about the Super Bowl and why it's vanilla, is when you look back at the Super Bowls of the past, there's always a storyline. There's always somewhere you can find a storyline that's fun. I mean, you look at last year, you got Cincinnati Bengals in last place, not supposed to be there, playing against Matt Stafford. Who the hell would have thought Matt Stafford would be in the Super Bowl? I mean, the year before that, you look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the GOAT. First year in Tampa, playing against Patrick Mahomes, his heir apparent. I mean, you go back to the Super Bowl before that, you got Tom Brady playing against Jared. There's always a storyline. There's always somewhere for you to find a storyline, or for you to find some players that say something, give you some storyline material for the whole week of practice. There's been none of that. There is no storyline here. I mean, the storyline is how did Jalen Hurts work so hard to get to this point? But that's not the storyline. The storyline is Jalen Hurts had a damn good year. He finished second in running for MVP. The number one guy is on the other side. This is an evenly matched team. evenly matched game, no storyline on either side. It's just who's the best team.
There's no hate.
And it's also like no surprise. Like you're looking at the number one team from this side made it. The number one team from this side made it. The one guy on this tab finished runner-up. The guy on this team finished, he won. Chris Jones finished runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year on the other side. So it's like that where you're just waiting to see it happen.
Hey, coming up next, we're going to be joined by Ari Meirov, our good friend, covers the NFL for the 33rdteam.com. We'll join Ari. Ari will join us next, but first a message from Big Boy.
Oh, yeah, Big Boy. Comfort foods in the winter are always better with Big Boy, of course. You want to start off your day with a great breakfast. How about those stuffed potato pancakes? And those omelets are great. The Santa Fe Garden, the Blockbuster, you got to get them all. Or you can get a little lunch or dinner. How about it? The Cajun Chicken Alfredo or the classic meatloaf. Get to your local Big Boy and try them all.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
It's another cloudy day here in Detroit, USA. Of course it is. We don't get the sun here. That's why you get the chili pepper tanning to get your vitamin D. And if you join the Pepper Club, they're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. Plus you get the cleanest salons and the D and the best tanning professionals to take care of you.
Professional.
Hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters, ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
All right, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on WoodwardSports.com or Fox2Detroit.com, the Fox 2 News app, welcome in. We appreciate it. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. It is Super Bowl 57, just days away. We bring in our good friend from the 33rd team, the 33rdteam.com. Ari Meirov covers the NFL for them. Ari, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Super Bowl week is here. Great to be back with you guys.
Absolutely, Ari.
Thanks, Ari.
We really appreciate your time. Hey, before we look ahead, I want to look back. We were just talking about Kenneth Walker getting more first-place votes than Garrett Wilson, but that new voting system, what did you make of that? Has there been any blowback or anything that comes from that at all in the time that the award's been announced?
Yeah, it's very interesting. You know, it changed this past year. This was the first time they were using it for all the AP awards. And I never imagined that it would get to a point where a player would have more first-place votes but would still lose. So under the old system, Kenneth Walker would have won last night. But they changed it because I believe the voters wanted to give their top three. And the AP, whoever is in charge of it, decided to go to a system where it's 5 points for a first-place vote, 3 for a second, and 1 for a third, and they changed it last year. I just don't think they ever expected it to be in a situation where the first-place vote winner ends up now winning. I don't think they were expecting that. So last night, while all was going on, and I see the results, I was like, what in the world is going on over here? I haven't heard much pushback. I'm sure Seattle fans are a bit upset. Kenneth Walker is a player who was also left out of a Heisman Trophy candidate. So this is the second time it's happened to him where he's got a little bit screwed over. So I feel a little bit for him. But overall, I think Seahawks fans were very happy with their season. Geno wins Comeback Player of the Year. They overachieved in a big way and had a great draft class. So it's a small Little thing here in his first year, but he has a great future ahead.
Ari, always a pleasure to talk to you. I hope you know that we're all together this time. So this is the second time in a row that you got the same staff right here. You got Ryan, you got myself, and you got Matt. So we want you to have the same people every time you call in. Ryan was just talking about it. He brought up a great point before we brought you on. You look at this Super Bowl, usually there's a storyline. There's some back and forth. There's something to talk about. There's something they build up until the big day Sunday. This has been very vanilla and quiet. In fact, the biggest stories are actually off the field, having nothing to do with the people involved in the game. What do you make of that?
All nice, Ari.
Exactly. Everybody's playing too nice.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a few years ago where they changed the whole Super Bowl media night, whatever they call it, where all of a sudden we have both quarterbacks at the podium and both teams at the podium at the same time. Like, why are we doing this? You know, I always felt like they should be separated. Like, why are we all being so next to each other? This is the biggest team of the year. I don't know. The NFL likes it like that. It is what it is. Everyone daps each other up. Then they finally show up to the game, and we'll see what happens. I mean, this specific matchup is fascinating in so many ways. Obviously, I'm just talking about the Kelsey Bowl and Andy Reid and all that. I'm also just fascinated by the fact that Howie Roseman, the GM, Brett Veach, the Chiefs GM, he also came from Philadelphia. The guy who hired Howie Roseman, the guy who hired Brett Veach, the guy who hired Andy Reid is this guy named Joe Banner. Who happens to be at the 33rd team around here as well. So like, it's also like a Banner Bowl. A lot of similarities with both these teams and where they came from. So it's just fascinating to see they have like the same philosophy, same ideas, same way of roster building. They take the trenches very seriously, as you know, with the Eagles, the offensive line, defensive line. Chiefs have the same philosophy. So a lot of similarities with both these teams, which is not common usually when it comes to this.
Ari, do we know anything about Jalen Hurts' shoulder or Patrick Mahomes' ankle? That seems to be one of the big questions about what we're going to see on Sunday.
Yeah, so Jalen Hurts is one of those quarterbacks who's like very honest and upfront with the media, which I love. Like, he'll tell you straight up, I'm not 100%. Like, something's up with the shoulder. He's not there. Nowhere if he needs surgery after the year or not. But he has admitted to Fox and to reporters when he's on stage, yeah, I'm not 100%, but I'm playing through it. And to be honest, we've seen a lot of him not being that 100%. Like the Week 18 game against the Giants, he was not himself. Divisional round game against the Giants, they opened up a quick, big lead, and he didn't have to do much. Again, the 49ers game, where, you know, the 49ers lose all their quarterbacks, we didn't really see a full Jalen Hurts game the way we saw it from Week 1 to 14 or whenever an injury happened. So he's admitted that it's not 100%, and I guess luckily for the Eagles, they haven't had any of those shootout type of the games, and it does make me curious a little bit to see what happens here in this game, if it is a close game like we all anticipate. And on the other side, Patrick Mahomes, high ankle sprain, everyone knows that's typically a 4 to 6 week injury. He played through it in the AFC Championship game. Clearly wasn't himself. We saw a few moments of him limping around. Now it's been 3 weeks since injury, but he's been with the Chiefs trainers literally every single day, 4+ hours, basically every day, getting all the proper treatment. Andy Reid, to be fair, was shocked that he was able to even play and come back to that game against Jacksonville. They were, I wouldn't say not expecting him to play in the AFC Championship game, but they were not expecting him to be 100%, and I think he overachieved what they were expecting. So Patrick Mahomes, what he's doing right now is pretty special, and of course having that 1 week in between from the last game till now here in the Super Bowl, I would expect him to be closer to 100% than where he was 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Ari, I want to go off the Super Bowl game for a second, but earlier in the Super Bowl week, Roger Goodell, his State of the State, and he came out, and to me, it's a tone-deaf remark that he came out with. I know you know what I'm going to ask you. He said the officiating has never been better. Is he out of his mind that it's never been better? It's never been worse.
Yeah, so you guys asked me if I've heard pushback when it comes to Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker. Not much over there. I've heard a lot of pushback when it comes to what Roger Goodell said at his, I think he called it State of the League, once annual press conference. Yeah, that one was, it was like a very specific question, and you were expecting him to say something towards like, yeah, it's not perfect, it'll never be perfect, but we'll look into potential solutions at the owners' meetings in March when the competition committee comes through and proposes some new ideas. He did the complete opposite and just said, no, it's fine, it's been great, we've never had this before. The reality is, fans are obviously livid. There are coaches who are very upset. There are executives who are very upset. And, when NFL rigged is trending on Twitter, the NFL and the league office at 345 Park Avenue is not happy about that. It's a terrible look for the league. So I'm sure there are going to be those conversations behind closed doors about figuring this out. The Lions, for example, your Lions, were extremely upset with the Week 18 game with the Seahawks and the Rams, where there were multiple missed calls that if the Rams would have won that game, the Detroit Lions would have been in the playoffs. So it's a big problem, and a lot of people are upset, and I'm sure the competition committee will discuss this stuff. The one thing that has been common for people that I've spoken to now is in Mobile at the Senior Bowl last week and asked a few people about this. Everyone agrees, and the NFL has been doing this sort of, but not to the full extent that they could, is having a sky judge, somebody who's in the booth, has a direct line of communication to the refs on the field. If there are any mistakes, you call it in. If there's something that was missed, call it in, and just do it like that. I mean, they use it not really to the full extent right now. If they could just go all in with it, like I believe it was the AAF, the Spring League, which started it, if they were to go all in on that, coaches are all in on it. John Harbaugh has been one of the main people who has been pushing for this in the competition committee. If they're able to do that, I think we would see a lot of different changes that would help the NFL, especially like the AFC Championship game, or the Devonta Smith touchdown catch, which was not a catch. Just call it in and say, hey, that was not a catch. Overturn it. So we'll see if they do anything, but Roger Goodell's comments and now go over well around the league.
Yeah, that seems like the most logical solution to the problem, but heaven forbid any logic there. Talking to Ari Meirov, the 33rdteam.com, and Ari, one of your latest pieces on the 33rdteam.com is a question that I wanted to ask you about, and that's Aaron Rodgers. You say Jets, Raiders, Titans among the logical suitors for Aaron Rodgers. Do you believe there's any chance he returns? I mean, any chance, sure, there's a chance, but do you think it's more likely that he does not play in Green Bay next year than does? And when he falls, is that when we'll see, the Derek Carrs, the Jimmy Garoppolos, and everybody else? Are we all waiting for the Aaron Rodgers domino to fall first?
So I think Derek Carr would go first, and because he has that trigger in his contract, 3 days after the Super Bowl, where his money guaranteed, where we'll see if there's any trade that goes down. I still find it hard to believe, but the Saints have had some talk. His contract is the big holdup when it comes to doing the trade. But if the Raiders decide to cut him early next week, he would essentially have a full month head start over everyone else, like a Jimmy Garoppolo and Sam Darnold and all those other guys who are going to become free agents. He would be allowed to meet with teams and talk to teams and negotiate a contract. So I would imagine Derek Carr goes first. Rodgers openly said he's going to go away 4 days, do his thing in darkness, and then come out and make a decision. So whenever he decides what he wants to do, he'll have that meeting with the Packers. They'll discuss everything, and we'll see where it goes. The thing with Rodgers, and what I'll say here, is the Packers' intending free agents this offseason are guys like Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, Mason Crosby, a bunch of older guys who are very close friends to Aaron Rodgers. The Packers, of course, have Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, A.J. Dillon, and, of course, Jordan Love as the younger core ready to take over the offense. And Aaron Jones, another very close friend of Aaron Rodgers, has a big $20 million cap hit this offseason, which the Packers could get out of. So you look at all of that, and it makes you wonder, the Packers, it seems like, are ready to go to a youth movement. And Aaron admitted when he was on the Pat McAfee show that, listen, if they're ready to go younger and they're ready to go somewhere else, I totally understand it. I won't feel like a victim. I've been here 18 years. The fans love me. We won a Super Bowl. I've made a lot of money. And when he did his contract extension last offseason, it was structured in a very unique way where the time to do a trade would be this offseason. He has $60 million that's fully guaranteed, but $58 million of it was structured in an option. And, for example, Derek Carr has the same option, but his option triggers 3 days after the Super Bowl. The Packers and Rodgers purposely did that option does not trigger until a week before the start of the regular season in 2023. So there's more than enough time to do a trade if both sides agree to do that. And it feels like based off everything I said about the Packers and where they're headed, that they're ready to go younger. And they just need Aaron Rodgers to come in and have a meeting, and they'll talk, and they'll discuss the future. And they'll possibly decide, you know what, it's time to mutually agree to part ways, and we'll look for a trade partner together. So that's the sense that I get when connecting all the dots. Of course, Aaron's mind works in a very mysterious way, but when you start connecting everything and where everything was set up last year, it makes it feel like we're heading towards that direction.
Ari, enjoy the Super Bowl, my friend. Thanks so much for checking in with us.
Who do you like?
Who do you like before we let you go?
Man, I've been going back and forth on this. The fact that everyone is so all in on Philadelphia makes me lean a little bit more to Kansas City, but these are the two best teams in the NFL. I'm just looking forward to a great game. Nothing like the 49ers-Eagles game. Something that down fire to the very end. That's what I'm looking forward to.
There you go.
Amen.
Ari Meirov covers the
Always
NFL for the
a pleasure.
33rdteam.com. Check it out on Twitter at MySportsUpdate. Ari, thanks, my friend. Enjoy the game.
Thanks, Ari.
Thanks so much, guys.
You got it.
Nobody is detailed.
That's right. Absolutely. Guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, it is Fill in the Blank Friday. Maz has the questions. We have the answers. But first, the message from Swiss.
Be sure to check out Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a one-to-one effective date. Swiss can help make sure you have proper coverage. So that means give them a chance because you won't be disappointed. Swiss Insurance Group with Mark.
Hi, Christina Gennari from Keller Williams Domain, your obvious choice in real estate. The Lions aren't headed to the Super Bowl, but you might be headed to your new home. Call or text me 248-550-4788 or come see me at soldchristina.com. I want to make sure you don't miss out on this hot spring market that's just getting warmed up. See you soon.
Hey, it's Tom Mazawey for all your real estate needs. Check out my gal, Christina Gennari. She's got you covered. Right, Lions?
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Fairway Packing Company. Fairway Packing, owned by the Baratta family, let me tell you, since 1956. Later today, in hour number 2 of the program, we're going to talk to Emmet Baratta. We do have a winner. We're going to pick a winner from the contest we've been running, the $600 value, the Wagyu Sampler. It includes Imperial Wagyu fillets, boneless ribeyes, boneless New York strips, burgers, good charcoals, premium hardwood lump charcoal. We've got it all. Are you the winner? Stay tuned for hour number 2 of the program. We'll get with Emmet Baratta. It's so exciting, and you can go to their steak shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods. You want to get some meat, you want to impress your friends, you want to upgrade your Super Bowl party, Fairway Packing Company is the place to do it. Check them out online. They ship anywhere. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Cut, sourced, aged, packed to perfection.
Perfection.
All right, Tom Mazawey, we have a little game we like to play. It's called Fill in the Blank Friday.
We do.
We do that every Friday.
Shall I kick it off?
And you shall.
Let's do it. First of all, thanks to Ari Meirov for joining us. Sorry if you guys couldn't understand some of the things. I was hearing it pretty clear, but I understand how things happen. Sometimes the phone doesn't give you what you want. But here we go. Fill in the blank. First one. I'm going to go to NBA first, guys.
Okay.
Blank won the NBA trade deadline, and I mean the entire week.
Phoenix. Not even close, right? I mean, they went from an also-ran in the Western Conference to the legitimate favorite in the Western Conference and probably the favorite in the NBA. Phoenix, without question. Not even close. There's no even number 2.
I think it's a 1A, 1B situation. I think Phoenix won, but at the same time, I don't think it's out the realm of possibility to say that Dallas won as well. You look at what Dallas did. They brought in a guy that could play with Luka. You're talking about one of the best point guards of all time as it relates to scoring buckets, dribbling, getting getting his shot off, getting people to play at a higher level. I think when Luka's on that court, Luka's exhausting all energy, and when he goes off the court, they struggle. You see leads disappear, you see them fall out of games, and you saw what you saw in the Western Conference Finals. Now you got another guy, another stud, another star on that team to help Luka when he goes off so he doesn't have to break the shoulder. I think they were the second place finish, but just by a little bit to your Suns.
I think you guys hit it, 1A and 1B there. I know the Nets didn't win it, that's for sure. Now let's talk about our own Pistons. The Pistons got blank yesterday after the trade of Saddiq Bey for James Wiseman.
I'll go first. I think they got through trade deadline yesterday, and the reason why I say I think they got through it is they didn't make any big splashes. They got rid of Saddiq Bey. It hasn't worked out here. James Wiseman hasn't worked out for the Golden State Warriors, so we're optimistic to what James Wiseman can be, but they got through it. They didn't make any huge splash. They didn't even pick up any huge players. Didn't make any huge waves, and they didn't mess up, I guess, per se.
Fleeced. No. I just love that word.
It's a great word.
The team got fleeced. No, I think the Pistons got their lottery ticket yesterday. You know, it's a lottery ticket. You buy a lottery ticket. If you win, it's amazing. If you lose, you crumble it up, you throw it away. That's what they got with James Wiseman yesterday. That's what they got. Yeah. Now, I've heard somebody refer to him as maybe the Pistons got their Jermaine O'Neal. Remember Jermaine O'Neal?
Of course,
started with Portland. He was a young kid, high school kid, got zero time in Portland, looked at like a bust, comes to Indianapolis and gets a shot with the Pacers and turns into an all-star forward. So
hell of a player.
That's how I feel. They got their lottery ticket yesterday.
I love that.
Yeah,
I think they got better. I do. For the future, I think you get a kid in Wiseman that really didn't have an opportunity to play there. If you heard Draymond Green on his podcast, he gives the kid credit. He says, look, he gets a fresh start here in Detroit with a young team that you're going to make mistakes together. You're going to grow together. You didn't really get a chance to get on the court. Year one, he played a few games. Year two, he's out with a knee injury. And then year three, all right. Pistons got a shot to get better. Did you want to keep Saddiq Bey and pay him? I don't know. I don't think so. I like Saddiq Bey as well. I think he'll do good in Atlanta. I did like him as a player.
I think the big thing too, Matt, you got to look at what James Wiseman is. Can we really get mad at James Wiseman for not getting on the floor with that team?
No.
Like, and that's what I think we as fans got to look at. Like, he didn't get on the floor with the Golden State Warriors that are winning championships. So I think there is a lot of optimism, and rightfully so.
Amen.
Rightfully
I hope it does great, guys, and I hope they get the number one pick, or at worst, the number 2 pick. All right, let's get to the Super Bowl. Ryan, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Your favorite Super Bowl memory was blank.
My favorite Super Bowl memory was Scott. My favorite was Malcolm Butler.
Just give two. You get two.
Getting the interception because Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl. That was like amazing to me. I did not want Seattle to win that Super Bowl. I wanted Brady to tack on. That was my favorite Super Bowl memory. I think Scott Norwood going wide right. I don't know about favorite, but that was my most memorable one.
Super Bowl 25, that is.
Most memorable one.
G-Men win that 1917.
Mine is Super Bowl. I got 3 moments.
All right.
But I've been around it. I've been around it like you my whole life.
I'm with you.
So Super Bowl 29 with Jerry Rice. So Jerry Rice is my favorite player growing up. He's what made me play wide receiver. But, you know, when Jerry was winning Super Bowls in the 80s, I kind of was super young. Super Bowl 29 was the first one that I was of age to really watch Jerry that whole season and pay attention to his
movement. Was that against the Chargers?
Exactly. And that was Deion Sanders on that team as well. So that was a moment for me. Steve Young, 6 touchdowns. Record still hasn't been broken. It's been tied, but not broken. 37. That was the Bucks and the Raiders.
Yeah.
And that's because Dwight Smith is from Detroit, and he had 2 interceptions, and one he took to the house. And so that's Detroit. That's my big brother out of Central High School. So that was love. And
that was the Gruden revenge game.
Yeah. And then 34 would have been the Titans and the Rams, because I grew up an Oilers fan. Yeah. The Titans are the Oilers.
Yep.
And Steve McNair was the first black quarterback that I saw play in the Super Bowl. I didn't see Doug Williams.
Yeah.
I saw Steve McNair playing that Super Bowl. Rest in peace. So those 3 moments for me.
Yeah. Well, I could go on and on and on. I won't. Super Bowl 21, with the Giants winning their first championship. They beat the Broncos. Phil Simms, MVP. first Super Bowl quarterback to say, I'm going to Disney. I cried like a baby when they won in 1987. I was 24 years old. I'm still crying like a baby. I remember watching it with my dad in his white T-shirt, V-neck, of course, and I'm sitting there next to him, and we just partied that day. That was a phenomenal day in the Mazawey household. Lots more Super Bowl memories, of course. Super Bowl V was my very first memory.
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that he cried after they won, or that he was 24 and 87. I'm trying to figure out which one I like more. I love it.
So great, Maz. I love you so much.
Love you guys. All right, here we go to the game itself. Let's start with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes will throw for blank.
No more than 2 touchdowns in Super Bowl 57.
Wow.
No more than 2. In 19 games played this year, he has thrown 2 or fewer touchdowns in 11 of the 19 games. So I look at the pass rush of the Eagles. I look at the defensive backs of the Eagles and the safety Gardner Johnson. They got Bradbury and Slay back there. No more than 2 for me.
That sounds like an under game then.
Yes.
I answered a different part of that question. I answered yards, but just to answer yours and give pushback, be careful of that, because he throws a lot of passes out of the backfield to Pacheco and to McKinnon now. So when teams blitz and come upfield, those guys get lost a lot of times. Edwards-Helaire is back. So, I mean, he may end up with 3 touchdowns, but it may not be conventional touchdowns. It may be, a screen pass or a quick dump that somebody takes for a yard. So be careful with that. But he'll throw for 343 yards. And it's because of what I think. One, Travis Kelce's going to find his 100 yards wherever they're at. Also, Patrick Mahomes is starting to throw the ball a lot in the flats out there. He's done a lot with Pacheco. He's done a lot with McKinnon. He's finding Montez Valdez-Scantling. So he'll find 343, but it'll be short passes at first, and then he'll get some big ones later on in the game.
I got him for 300 and a couple of touchdowns, both to Travis Kelce. I'm not sure yet of what my final score is, but you got me thinking now, Ryan, with the freaking under. Yeah. And I don't know. I might have to reevaluate my thoughts. Let's move on to the next team. Jalen Hurts will
both their playoff games have gone under now.
That's right.
Both their playoff games, 27-20 against the Jags, 23-20 against the Cincinnati team.
They were both under. And Philadelphia, basically, they've been scoring at will when you think their offense isn't that very good. But they've been scoring in the 30s.
Both those games have gone under as well, 38-7, 31-7. They've only allowed 7 points a game.
I know. It doesn't
they
really
also play like a 4-string quarterback and the Giants.
I understand.
Well, you're talking. It's laying out as Philly in the under. To me, Jalen Hurts will account for blank.
350 yards, I think, total. I think it's safe to say he'll be up to 350. I think he's going to have to be able to run the ball in this game. He's going to rely a lot on Miles Sanders and Gainwell. I think Gainwell will be the sleeper for them. But I think he's going to run the ball as well. Like the San Francisco 49ers, they were frozen waiting for Jalen Hurts to make a decision. After every ball was snapped, they're looking at Jalen Hurts feet in the ground trying to figure out what he's going to do. That gives Jalen Hurts the advantage. So I think 350 total yards. I could see 75 rushing. I can see 275 passing. But he's going to get his yards because their offense is unstoppable.
I think Jalen Hurts will account for 2 touchdowns. And I think this is going to be a rushing game.
I love that you thought touchdowns on both, and I thought yards on both.
I think this is going to be a rushing game. I think you're going to have multiple touchdowns from the running back position on Kansas City and multiple touchdowns from the running back position on Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, if you look at, you've got Pacheco, McKinnon, and Clyde's Edwards-Helaire there. You've got 3 running backs. I think those 3 guys account for at least 2 touchdowns running. And I think on the other side with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott, I mean, I think those 2 guys account for a rushing. And Jalen Hurts, by the way.
You're forgetting about Chris Jones and Frank Clark, man.
Well,
they're playing some defense.
Somebody's got to be vulnerable. I mean, they can't guard everybody, right? I mean, you can't guard everybody.
I mean, unless you plan on finishing the Super Bowl like the Rams and the Patriots, which was 10-3.
There you go.
That's Don't give me possible. That. Don't give me that, please. Give me a lot of scoring and a lot of Super Bowl squares to win, that. Please. I got Jalen Hurts 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
I'd love to see I'd love to see a 37-34 game.
I would too. Yeah. Let's go back and forth. Final one for Super Bowl week. Your Super Bowl MVP will be blank.
If it's the Eagles, then it'll be Jalen Hurts. If it's the Chiefs, it'll be Travis Kelce.
Okay.
I think Travis Kelce is going to have to be a man in this game. He's the best player on that team, not named Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to have to give everything he has for Patrick Mahomes. So Mahomes, Chiefs win. Kelce, Chiefs win. Hurts, Eagles win.
I mean, it's like, I don't know what the odds are, but it'd have to be like a minus 500 if you got like
Mahomes.
Hurts or Mahomes. Right? I mean, if you got to
They're
pick two
favorites.
guys, it's like Hurts and Mahomes, and everybody else is after that.
But Hurts has to have a good game for them to win.
I'll go off the board just because, and I'll say Darius Slay. If he has 2 interceptions and a return for a touchdown, I mean, maybe you give it to Slay. I'm just throwing it up there. Softball, lobbing it up.
I would go, if you're going to go that route, then I go defensive lineman.
Yeah,
I go
Chris Jones or something like that.
No, I'm saying for the Eagles. I was saying go one of their defensive line. Go Hassan Reddick.
There you go.
Well, who'd you think was going to win it last year, Bray?
No, he did win last year. He did win last year.
Not if you had a ticket on it.
It was Aaron Donald.
It was not if you had a ticket on it.
Is there an Aaron Donald?
Did win last year.
Is there an Aaron Donald on these two teams that could win the MVP?
Hassan Reddick. I mean, you heard their defensive coordinator, and he's very true. If they didn't drop him back as coverage, kind of similar to what they do with Micah in Dallas, like that joker can have just as many sacks, if not more, than Bosa. So Hassan Reddick is going to be the game record for the Philadelphia Eagles. So if I pick a defensive player, Hassan Reddick would be the
I'm
choice.
going to pick a defensive player. I'm going to take Chris Jones because I love what he did against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He wrecked that game against Cincinnati. I'm going to take him. I'm going to take him to win it.
The only thing about that, Cincinnati was down to like their 4th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th string offensive lineman.
Yeah,
so he's playing against the best offensive line in the AFC.
Probably
in the NFC this time around. So
I don't
be as easy.
I don't know. And El Gato here, the WoodwardSports.com chat said,
love El Gato.
Philly defense touchdown plus 675. There will be a defensive touchdown in this game. I don't know who it's going to be by. There will be a defensive touchdown in this game. If I had to think about it, it would be Philadelphia because I do think Philadelphia will have the lead. And I think Kansas City is going to have to toss that ball around a lot. With the Philadelphia defense putting pressure on Patrick Mahomes, he's going to have to get out of that pocket. He's going to have to take some of those sidearm throws, and ball's going to be down the field. I think Slay gets one or Bradbury. I don't know who, but I think one of those guys are going to get a pick 6. That's why I would take a shot on the MVP.
Let me give you some numbers here. Mahomes is plus 130. Hurts plus 130.
What's Slay?
Kelce plus 1,600.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'm taking that.
A.J. Brown 1,800. Miles Sanders 2,500.
Hey, that's low key not a bad one either.
Hassan Reddick 3,400.
What's Slay?
Let me find Slay.
Two picks and a pick 6.
Plus 8,500.
There you go.
Hey, that Miles Sanders one is not bad at all because one thing about the Eagles, if they get up, you know what they're going to do. They will run the ball to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. That's not a bad take.
Like Chris Jones, plus 5,000.
All right, there you go. You ready? Darius Slay, 2 picks, 1 pick 6, MVP. Calling it right now.
Plus 8,500, folks.
There you go.
2 picks,
guys, got to take a break. Hour number 2 is next, but first a message from Alta.
Alta Equipment. You know, it's uptime matters.
It matters.
And Alta Equipment, give them a try. Give Alta Rental a try today for your next big project. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big Super Party. Wait, we can't say Super. We really can't say. Come join us at our Super Party on Sunday, February 12th, from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports Super Party. Well, our Super Party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet, DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season. Enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
What's up, everybody? JB here,
it's the
letting you
minute.
know about the Monroe Street Midway. The holidays might be over, but the Midway is still going on strong right now. Get down there to enjoy the giant Arctic slide, the winter bumper cars, the indoor arcade, putt-putt, and of course, they have food down there as well. They are serving up burgers, pierogies, homemade chili, chicken sandwiches, mac and cheese bites, plus gluten-free and vegan options as well. They're covering all the bases for you. But coming soon, we got the Woodward Sports Winter Olympics. You'll be able to compete with the likes of Darren McCarty, Braylon Edwards, Adam Baydoun, Ryan Ermanni. The Mavs will be down there, as well as the heavyweights and the rest of the Woodward Sports family in the Monroe Street Midway Games. Check it out at deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. And of course, we will see you at the Midway.
Midway.
Very good, guys. Very good. Hour number 2.
Hour number 7.
That is hour number 7 on the air today for me. Very good.
Nice hat, JB.
It is good.
Oh,
Nobody's
thank you.
feeling sorry for me. I'm feeling good. I'm lucky to have 2 very beautiful jobs that I love so much. And I appreciate each and every one of you today. And
You like
every day
JB's hat?
here on the network. JB, that is a great hat. Where did you get that now?
Yeah, I was in the back, you know. I thought it was kind of cool, so I just threw it on. What do you guys think?
Where do you get something like that? And who would want to wear anything like
stick
that?
ordered
That's
those.
like the style. Those came back this year, maybe like September, September,
I think
October.
so, yeah.
Imagine going to a
Read the
Pistons or
back
Red
of that
Wings
hat.
game, sitting behind somebody with that.
They wear those now. You might have to.
That'd be so.
It's funny. It looks like Parappa the Rapper, like a little back in the day.
What's it say, JB?
Woodward Sports?
Woodward Sports, I don't know. I just got this guy on the back of it. It's got a
Just a
little smirk on
gentleman.
it.
Very good gentleman.
Just a guy in the hat, like JB.
Just a guy.
Big
I think it's
hat.
JB wearing the hat backwards. That's the guy in the back.
Very good. Hey, gang. Tom Mazawey, let's go. Little NFL.
Let's do it. Hey, during Super Bowl week this week, you got everyone running around Media Row, Radio Row.
Media Row.
A guy over there, his name is Dave Solfaro. He works for Pro Football Focus. He got a chance to sit down with one of our guys. That's right.
Hey,
Aidan
Solfaro.
Hutchinson asked about his year and what's coming up for him. Check it out.
Man, it was a great way to end the season, man. We knew it was the end, but we knew if we beat them, that'd be their end too. So it was a great way to go out, man. You know, unfortunately, you couldn't make it to the playoffs, but the boys were rolling that day. And
The boys are rolling. I know there were moments in the season, Brock Wright up the sideline in MetLife.
Oh yeah.
You obviously had the Lambeau game.
Yep.
Talk about kind of what you guys think will happen in Detroit next season. Obviously, you have Ben Johnson returning.
Yeah.
Talk about the energy returning in Detroit.
No doubt. I mean, I'm not one to make any predictions now, okay? But I think next year is going to be a real good year, man. I can feel it going into year 2. I feel like it's going to be a really good year all around for all the boys. We got everyone coming back. No one's really on a contract year, so having Ben Johnson back too for the offense, it's going to be fun, man.
It'd be fun. You heard him. He's not going to give you any predictions. This guy doesn't give you much of anything as far as if you want a quote or whatever. But, you know, he's our guy. He came in second for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Aidan Hutchinson expecting big things from our guys this year.
Ryan, how do you feel about him not being so vanilla, if you will?
Who do you like, Michigan or Michigan State, Aidan?
Well, you know, I just hope
I'm a lion now. I'm a lion.
You got to root for both.
He's a very vanilla, kind of guy. He's not going to say anything.
He'll be one of those guys.
What's that?
He'll be one of those guys Michigan takes care of.
Yeah, it's good. Let me say this about Aidan Hutchinson, too, though, just based on what he said. Teams are going to be worried about us, and we're coming and all that stuff. Stupid question for you. Here it is. And we sit up here every day. We talk about the Lions. Hearing Aidan Hutchinson talk about the Lions. Hearing Jamal Williams talk about the Lions. Is there any chance there's regression next year.
Yeah. That's real. It's a possible thing. Listen, everything in life, and you talk about this, that's why sometimes you said, look, I'm nervous that we might have missed our mark, or the Lions might have missed their mark. You never know what can happen in terms of off-season, coaches leaving, people leaving.
Perfect storm.
And now all of a sudden, now Jameson's coming in. How does he fit into the box? How does DJ Chark take it if they sign him back? In 2007, I was with the Browns. We sucked. The year before that, we sucked my rookie year. They sucked before I got there. That's how they drafted me. But going into that 2017, nobody expected anything from the Browns, and we messed around and won 10 games. We went 10-6. You know, we beat a lot of bad teams, kind of like the Detroit Lions did this year, but we still went 10-6. Almost made the playoffs just like they did. If the Tennessee Titans don't beat the Colts last game of the season, we get in the playoffs. Colts rest their guys. They beat the Colts. They get in. That next year, we get 3 Monday Night Football games, got a Sunday Night Football game, we got Thanksgiving game, we got 5 primetime games. Everybody's expecting this new Browns. They're expecting the Browns to take over. Everybody got hurt. We finished 5-11. It was a horrible season. We regressed. Now, that was because of our offensive coordinator. He didn't necessarily, work on the offense and worry about adapting at halftime, and then also a lot of injuries.
Who was that year?
Rob Chudzinski. I can't stand him. I can't stand Chud. He was here for a second, and then he was to that. But he's from Miami. That's where he got his love. But anyway, long story short, we regressed that year terribly, and it took the Browns a long time to get back to that. To finally went to the playoffs 2 years ago. So there is a chance, of regression, but they have so many young guys on that team, and they're building the right way. I think that's what they have over that team that we have. They're building the right way. So. There's a chance of it, just like anything else, but small chance, not a big one.
Who'd they jam down our throats this year? What team? What team made the most national television games?
Denver.
Chargers.
Denver.
Oh, Denver, yeah.
Chargers took over for a lot of Denver games later. The Broncos. This year, we all know what the Lions were capable of. They could have won a playoff game or two. They could have.
Yeah.
The way they were playing, the way they came together, they were right on this year. You never know if you're ever going to have that kind of year again. They could get better next year, better players, and not play as competitive as they were this year.
The other part of regression, too, that I meant to, that I started and didn't get to is, Ryan, you're on the radar now.
Not sneaking up on anybody.
That was my purpose.
Right.
I
and
kept
you're going to be on
talking.
TV.
You're on the radar now. You're on TV now.
They'll have 4 nationally televised games.
100%. There's a real thing to when you play a team that sucks that you just don't pay attention to. I'm guilty of it. Everybody's been guilty of it. You don't look at your offensive game call system that much. You don't study the opposition that much. You're not worried about the Lions, the Browns, the Bills at one point that much. And then you play these guys and you get surprised and you get your ass whooped. But it's too late. But when you play a whole season, this team has been talked about. They finished 8-2. Everybody knows Aidan Hutchinson. Everybody knows Ben Johnson. Everybody knows the resurgence of Jared Goff. Teams are going to be watching film of them all off season, studying the Lions, studying Ben Johnson, studying Aaron Glenn's defense. When you play teams next year, and you're playing the AFC West, by the way, you're going to have to be on your A game because teams, they know you're coming, just like you said.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. There is news regarding the Michael Irvin saga at the playoffs. At the Super Bowl. We'll let you know what that is next. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, and shouts out to Noggin Boss. That's where I got this hat from, by the way, just to let you know. But enough with my hat. Let's get to Planet Fitness because find your big fitness energy at Planet Fitness right now, going on through February 16th, you can join Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month, but you have to hurry up because that offer does end soon. Remember, February 16th, you have to get there. But just to let you know, Planet Fitness has more than 50 convenient locations, so no matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. Join in club today, or as always, you can check them out at planetfitness.com.
That guy.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our Lumberjack, Blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Mads for the Folding Warehouse. Of course, foldingwarehouse.com. That's the place for you. You want to get down there to Hamtramck because it is a great throwback place. You get in there, you will have the time of your life with your friends and your family. You can even go by yourself if you like. $12 unlimited open play. That means you go in the beginning and you stay all day long, stay as long as you like, and have some fun. Or you can bring a lot of friends with you and have your own private lane reservation. 2 hours on a lane, run you $120, less than $10 per head. Of course, the drinks are there, man. The bar is high, as Marty Morningweg would say. Over 100 beers on the beer menu and the $2 mystery beer machine. Bring your own food in or have it delivered. Get your full on at foldingwarehouse.com.
Guys, welcome back. Super Bowl 57 right around the corner. We talked plenty about the game in hour number 1 of the program. If you want to rewind, feel free to do so. One of the big stories that came out this week about the Super Bowl was that Michael Irvin was sent home from the NFL Network. First Take on ESPN did not use him on his scheduled day as well. Claiming some woman in a hotel lobby claimed he said something inappropriate. Nobody can tell you what that is, but now Dove Kleiman says that Michael Irvin is filing a $100 million lawsuit against the woman who accused him of misconduct, which led to the NFL Network moving on from him. Moving him from the Super Bowl events and appearances, that according to TMZ, and I say bravo to you, Mr. Irvin.
I'm extremely glad that he got ahead of it. Look, how many times do we see athletes or how many times do we see entertainers just wait the course, believing they were innocent, knowing they was innocent, or thinking that there was nothing there. They wait the course, Ryan. They don't immediately take action. And then what happens is the story beats that person up for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, a whole year. And by the time you find out that this person's not, this person's innocent or this person's not guilty, his reputation is taking too big of a hit to come back, or his reputation is taking too big of a hit to where he was and where he may have gotten paid at once. He's no longer at that same quota. I'm glad that he got ahead of this. I had a teammate that was accused of something with a young girl, ended up not being true at all, but he didn't say anything. He let it go, and it went on and it went on and it went on for 2.5 years, and eventually find out that it wasn't true. But when you found out, it was on page 7. It was so small, it was way down here. Yeah. I love that Michael has gotten ahead of it. I don't know what's going on, neither do you. We're going to wait and see. But the fact that he's not waiting, he went $100 million in and said, I'm suing for defamation of character. Bravo to him, because this lets people know I'm not waiting to see what happens because I know I didn't do anything wrong. I love it.
It ruined his whole Super Bowl week.
It ruined his whole Super Bowl week, and now
it's ruining his name right now.
And now you wear that stink on your name.
Yeah.
And one of the things about this that I always found curious, and I don't know what he said, but I didn't like the language, the NFL Network, or I didn't like the way the language has been used surrounding his dismissal from the Super Bowl. It was, he had an inappropriate conversation with a female at a hotel lobby where the individual found his language offensive.
It's too specifically nothing.
She found his language offensive. I don't know what that means. Is that, hey, come up to my room and let me do X, Y, and Z to you? I understand that's offensive. Was it, hey, you really are a pretty gal. You look nice tonight. In 2023, that is offensive to some people. So I applaud Michael Irvin for at least shedding light on this situation.
Ryan and Mass, even more surface than that, he might have got her pronoun wrong. or said pronoun wrong. We live in a world and we live in society nowadays where you got to be careful about everything. The pronoun he used might have been wrong. That might have been offensive to the person. We don't know what the level of offense that this person is talking about. We don't know where it stems from. We don't know what presence of mind these individuals are in and what it is. It could have been something that Michael Irvin simply was ignorant to the fact to knowing of, if that makes sense. We live in a world where everybody's ready to judge you for judging them when you don't even know that you're judging them indirectly.
My whole thing about this, and again, I repeat, I don't know what was said, but they sent him home. They didn't fire him. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know something to be so egregious, man, you don't get a lot of leeway these days when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I always kind of raise an eyebrow out of the language that they were using surrounding this topic and the fact that he has been fired from neither job, just sent home. So I thought that was interesting. Also, if you think somebody's wronging you, if you think somebody's talking about you, you know the quickest way to try to get your name back, or at least to fight back, is to sue.
Yeah.
Is to sue. If you think you have the truth on your side and you think that truth is provable beyond a reasonable doubt or whatever the case may be, you sue. And I don't know about Brett Favre either. And I don't like Brett Favre. But you know what? Good for Brett Favre. He is suing Pat McAfee and suing Shannon Sharp and the Mississippi auditor, Shad White, for defamation.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good for him, too. If you think you got the truth on your side, I'll say the same thing about Michael Irvin that I say about Brett Favre. And the same thing about Brett Favre. Good for you. That's... I don't know if those are... if either of them are winnable, but at least you're trying to give yourself a shot at some sort of redemption.
Two things. One, don't ever put Brett Favre and Michael Irvin in the same category. Brett Favre kissed my ass for the rest of his life. He is an awful individual, and he's suing these individuals for he did. No, thank you.
Braylon Edwards just got added to the list.
Guess what? Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. He can come up here in Detroit and bring it.
Pat McAfee laughed at it.
Exactly, as he should. But with the one thing with Shad, excuse me, now you got me thinking about Shannon Sharp. The one thing with Michael Irvin that I think about, though, he sued the young lady for defamation of character, and the lawsuit's $100 million on her. But she reported it to NFL Network, and NFL Network sent you home. So at the end of the day, they should be added to the lawsuit as well. But because it's the young girl that talked to NFL Network correctly, and then NFL Network sent you home, and NFL Network made it public what was said, etc. I would sue them as well.
And by the way, the authorities, the police, aka the police, were never informed about any of this. So how egregious could it have been? It never, whatever it was, it never got to that level.
Because if you're not gonna get your $100 million out of this young lady, but you could get some money out of NFL Network, and if they're the ones that sent you home, well, looks like I'm suing them, and now I'll be full time with ESPN. That's just me.
You got any take on that? I mean, we're talking about.
I hope Michael Irvin is found innocent, and I hope it's good. I hope he didn't do anything wrong. And to tell you the truth, I hope Brett Favre didn't steal the money he supposedly stole. That's all I got to say.
Well, you don't want him to steal the money.
But he's already stolen it. He's already admitted to stealing it.
Well, no, it's been funneled to Southern Mississippi University.
How much does a guy have to do for you guys to realize that he's not that good of a guy? That's all I'm saying.
Well,
he's a bum. You're right.
It's not the point. I'm just talking about the lawsuits. Like if you think you're,
I'm not answering you. I'm talking about what he just said. I'm just talking about what he said.
I guess because he's a football hero.
You don't want to think that people are capable of doing horrible things.
We already know.
I hope that the Brett Favre thing is also untrue.
Yeah.
I hope O.J. Simpson didn't slice two necks in one night. You know what I mean? Like, I can't hope that. That makes you mad?
It's not that it makes me mad, but we know he sliced two people. We know what Brett Favre did was wrong as well. Like, so what are we talking about? I hope he didn't do it.
Yes, I hope he didn't do it.
Like, yes, at a time when you don't have all the information, it's like, I hope that this isn't true because you care about him as a sports hero. This is true. But once you know said individual did said thing, there's no more room for hope or optimism. Like, man, I hope it's not true.
He was found.
The juice was innocent.
He was found not guilty by a court of law.
Come on,
you want to go down that route? Or who was found not guilty and was guilty of things in life?
He was found not guilty.
Come on, Juice.
This is absolutely true.
Adam Morency has gifted 5 Woodward Sports members.
That's a hell of a transition.
God
bless Adam Morency.
Oh my God!
He was at the Folding Warehouse last night.
Did you kill Bill Walsh?
Did you?
Oh my gosh! My goodness! Oh gosh! I'll never forget it. Okay, guys, we're gonna take a break. We'll go around the NFL next.
Right.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, but first a message from SMA.
The Sports Marketing Agency is here to put an end to stigmatization about mental health as well as substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly the conversations they're having. That's exactly the platform that they're using to make aware mental health as well as mental health conditions. Go to it if you or anyone that you know is struggling with something. It's okay to not be okay. But where do you go to get the information? Where do you go to help yourself? Well, you go to thesportsma.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Downtown Detroit is all decked out this season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge in the Monroe Street Midway. The Midway's got the giant slide, the winter bumper cars, and of course, that indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab a drink at the Lodge before or after any Wings or Pistons home game. Shop, eat, and play downtown anytime with Decked Out Detroit. And of course, you can always check them out at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Oh man, I don't even want to read some of these.
Hey, that one was funny you read.
Cody Engel. Yeah. What's next, Ryan? I hope Dr. Anderson didn't do it. Coming up next, I hope Sandusky didn't do it.
Oh, come on, man. Because I know what's coming. If you miss those two, there's only one more name that's coming next.
The difference,
it's going to be Nassar, Michigan State.
The difference is all three of those, two of those gentlemen have been found guilty in a court.
Who didn't get found guilty?
Anderson. He was dead. Right. He was dead. Either way, Tom Mazawey, and I'm not laughing about anything other than
got 300 athletes say otherwise.
That's a really good. That's a really good comment. Funny. Actually.
It was a very funny.
Sad
comment.
But funny.
Ray, did you get your invite yesterday to the NFL honors?
No, not at all.
Neither did Hall of Famer
in the mail.
Eric Dickerson has not gotten an invite.
Can't believe
for
it.
the past 5 years. Braylon, what happened?
Eric Dickerson, Hall of Fame running back, second individual to break the 2,000-yard barrier. It would have been nice to get an invite to NFL honors. Last time I checked, I played some pretty good ball in the league. I guess when you speak up for players who don't have a voice, you don't get invited. 5 years since I was last invited. I did some digging on that. I think me and you, Ryan Ermanni, I think I saw some articles back in 2016-17 where he did support Colin Kaepernick. Now, I don't know if that's what it was. I mean, it makes sense if you look at the period, but that's a big thing. You look at some of the guys that come to the NFL honors, they're the Hall of Famers, the legends. They currently play no more, but they're ambassadors of the game. I mean, Eric Dickerson is one of those ambassadors. I mean, he's even listed with the Los Angeles Rams as a VP of marketing or something of the sort. So when you get guys like that speak out on behalf, they feel like they can speak out. It's like Bill Russell speaking out in the 60s. You feel like you put yourself in a position to speak out. When you speak out, the man that writes the checks, they still have the ability.
I get that. I thought Kaepernick was like in 16, though. That's like 7 or 8 years ago.
Well, they talked about it for a long time.
Yeah, I know. And then they said they tried to put him up in the nosebleeds last year at the Super Bowl for the Rams. Nah. He didn't go to the Super Bowl last year.
The Rams don't treat him good.
They tried to give him the tickets in the 400 section of SoFi Stadium. It's embarrassing.
That's the house that Dickerson built.
And that's something. So that's clearly something with not the NFL. That's clearly something going on with Eric Dickerson. I wonder, what that could be. What that is.
I don't get it, man. I'd love to know some of these things. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in some of these.
Dirty.
Sometimes when people do stuff like this,
they're worse than the mob,
they're
man.
Dirty.
Oh,
they
100%.
are the mob.
At least the mob takes care of their own. I mean, the NFL
until they don't.
Yeah, until they don't. Until you get whacked.
Yeah.
Another thing I can think, I try to figure out with these things is, when you get new regimes, sometimes like the Los Angeles Raiders are very separate. Los Angeles Rams, they've had different periods. Am I right, Maz? They've been in LA, they've been in St. Louis, they're back in LA.
Anaheim.
You look at, they've been in Anaheim. You look at which Rams organization is this, and I wonder how they're looking at it from. ED was Los Angeles Rams, but we're like more St. Louis that moved to Los Angeles. I'm telling you, like sometimes different new people, they come in, they have their own deals, and that's what I'm saying.
Well,
it could be something along those lines. I mean, I look at when Rich Rod came to Michigan. He was Michigan, but he was a new Michigan and was trying to make it a new Michigan. Sometimes people are like that when they come to a place. Hey, this is us now. Let's get those old guys out of here.
I got something for you guys. This might be a little trouble for Patrick Mahomes. He won the MVP last night, second time. Congratulations! He's in a great class, but. There's an MVP jinx going around. Did you guys know about this?
No, I did not. I did not know that the league MVP has not won a Super Bowl since 1999.
Kurt Warner.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, Kurt Warner was the last guy.
I was trying to piece that together.
He becomes the first person in the Super Bowl MVP curse.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that list.
1999.
And it tells you exactly what happened to them all.
He's the second person in the curse.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Well, Aaron Rodgers has been the MVP a couple of times.
Yeah, he didn't win. Well, I'm just saying. No wonder the money's on the Eagles.
That could be.
No wonder the money
Follow the
is
money.
on the Eagles.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
That's crazy.
How about another guy? We talked about it earlier today. Defensive Player of the Year. I went to Nick Bosa. Had a great year.
Yeah.
But Micah Parsons is a pretty good player.
Pretty good.
He didn't get a single vote for Defensive Player of the Year. So I just wanted to re-put this up there again because I am a Micah Parsons guy. And he's just saying, hey, I'll be watching for you guys next season. There was a nice little video montage of him terrorizing quarterbacks this year. I don't know. I guess maybe they forgot to look at it.
Joey Bosa is a really good player. But, Nick Bosa is a really good player. And Joey Bosa is good. But Nick Bosa is a really good player. I mean, for Micah Parsons not to get one single vote? Is that... Come on, man.
Well, I mean, he got votes his rookie. Last year, he got votes, actually, and for a rookie Defensive Player of the Year. He got votes for Defensive Player of the Year. You look at his stats this year, not as good as they were his first year. He had 13.5 sacks, no interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. So the stats were okay. The defense was really good, but, you got to look at what those guys did. The guys that you're talking about above it, not only did they have better stats, they had better records, and they finished better. They're still playing. So, you look at Nick, you look at Chris Jones. Well, guess what? He's in the Super Bowl with 15.5 sacks, and he had a pick. You look at Nick Bosa, 18.5 sacks. He had a couple picks, 5 forced fumbles, and the list goes on. He was in the NFC Championship, and if you had a damn quarterback, might be in the Super Bowl. So I don't think it's a slight at Micah Parsons. Also, they do so much with him because he can do so many things. Yeah. They put him in linebacker. They drop him in coverage and safety. Sometimes. They put him. And to you said, they put him in bad spots sometimes. So I think that was a direct reflection of moving him around so much this year. Next year, I don't think you'll see Micah Parsons moved around as much. I think you'll see him move around just a little bit, but I think he'll be in the 2 to 3 standard positions, which allow him to have more success defensively.
Hey, we had 9 great players going to the NFL Hall of Fame class of 2023. It was a nice ceremony last night. And there they are, Rondé Barber. Don Coryell goes in. What a great head coach of the Cardinals. Don Coryell. What did I say?
No, I said Don Corleone.
Oh, no, Don Coryell. Coached the Cardinals when they were in St. Louis. Then he went to the Chargers, made that great offense, that supercharger offense. Chuck Howley won the MVP in Super Bowl V, the first one I ever watched, in a losing effort. Colts beat them that day. Joe Klecko from the Jets, the sack exchange from Temple, Revis Island, Darrelle Revis, of course, Ken Riley, the fourth leading interceptor in NFL history, played for the Bengals his whole career, and then your guy, Joe Thomas. You played with Joe Thomas. Zach Thomas in Miami. What a great defender he was. And DeMarcus Ware, Jerry Jones gave him his gold jacket
Matt
last
Millen
night.
could have had him.
How about that?
I mean, I don't want to say anything negative about the list because I don't want to get Mavs riled up. But what I will say is usually when you look at the Hall of Fame, it represents championships. Like the guys getting in won championships too. This list right here, like it's a bunch of guys that are really good players when they play, but it doesn't scream championships. That's why I'm surprised that some of these guys got in. I mean, Klecko, he was around a lot when I was there with the Jets, the sack exchange. Damn good player. Like really, really, really phenomenal player. But it's like, you couldn't get in 25, 30 years ago, then why all of a sudden get in now? So it's an okay class for me, but to me it's about championships. You look at what Zach Thomas' numbers are, definitely great numbers. I mean, you're talking about 17 interceptions, 20 sacks, average 150 tackles a year, 1,700 tackles, blah, blah, blah. He's got like one playoff win. So I think Hall of Fame should be about great talent as well as championships.
Well, Barber and Howley won Super Bowls.
You said what?
Rondé Barber won a Super Bowl. Chuck Howley won a Super Bowl.
I know you named but you named 9 people.
I know you're right, and you're right about it.
Yeah.
I was not super excited about last night's class.
Who's the highlight? I mean, who's going last?
There's nobody.
Rondé Barber and
who's going last?
Joe Thomas probably.
Probably Joe Thomas because he works for NFL
Yeah,
Network.
he's TV.
You're
right. It's not exciting.
Yeah, it is.
You're right.
Because, I mean, that's one thing, and I don't want to knock these guys because they had better careers than I ever could imagine to have had. So, hats off to them. Joe T, my former teammate. We had the same agent, All Pro Sports, out of Denver, Peter Schaefer and Lamont. So I tip my hat to all of them. But a lot of times, like you said, when you're watching that in Canton, you're watching the Gold Jackets, you're thinking about the Super Bowl moments that these guys provided or the teams that they were on that won Super Bowls. And when 7 out of 9 of these guys go up there, it's not going to be playoffs. You remember, it's going to be the individual. So it's cool. It's a for me.
I went to the Hall of Fame again, for the third time last December. I just love going to that place. It's really, it gives you the chills, man, as a football fan. I highly recommend you guys getting to Canton and check it out.
Well, we'll do that.
I've been a couple times. I wanted to get in there somehow, some way. Like when they take you there as rookies, like each team, and we obviously been in Cleveland, we're right down the street. We went there, they gave us a tour and talked about a little thing, and I started to see that you didn't necessarily have to get into the hall to get into the hall because they'll have like cleats and jerseys from longest interception return, most interceptions in the game, the longest pass caught, longest things like that. I said, maybe I can sneak one of those and get my stuff in here, but didn't quite work out that way.
Damn. Those guys had better careers than I had too, but I'm not impressed either. So I'll go ahead with that.
This my guy.
Guys, let me tell you, we've got our pick segment coming up next, and the winner in the Fairway Packing Wagyu Challenge. How about that? We'll announce it. The Wagyu Sampler will announce a winner coming up next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox 2 News app. You can also watch us on Tubi, on YouTube, all kinds of great ways. If you are watching on woodwardsports.com, you may have noticed a little bit of a facelift to that website. We are very proud of that. You can check out the latest scores around, fresh articles as well, and of course the home to watch all of our live shows. Lots of awesome additions and updates. They are coming soon as well. You can check it out, woodwardsports.com. One of those articles on there was a really well-written one and got me thinking about Keenan Allen. He's going to be waived or cut by the L.A. Chargers. And
Can't stay healthy.
Is that a guy you would take, I don't want to say take a flyer on, but really, you could probably get him for cheap.
Hell yeah.
You know, a veteran presence. Would you take a shot on him with the Lions? Very, very good player, a number one type receiver that you can get here, pair with those younger guys. Would you do that? That article on woodwardsports.com. All right, guys.
Damn sure you better take a flyer on Keenan Allen. I love Keenan Allen.
Absolutely. All right, it is time for our pick segment. It is also time for our Fairway Packing Big Game Contest details. Let's bring in Emmet Baratta, our good friend, one of my favorite people from Fairway Packing Company. Emmet, my friend, how you doing, baby?
Emmet, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys?
We're living a dream over here, Emmet, but not quite the dream that you're living inside the meat locker over there.
Give me some of those good cuts, if you will.
Hey, Emmet, let's do this. Let's do our pick segment first, and then we're gonna pick the winner for the Wagyu sampler. Does that sound good?
Sounds good, Ryan.
All right, baby. All right, Maz. Give it to us. Give it to us, Maz.
Here we go,
All
fellas.
right.
I think you know the game. It's Super Bowl 57.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. For the first time this year, I see somebody at the top that has never been at the top. I am at the top.
The playoff leader.
I am 6-6. Ahead of Maz and Ryan, who are 5 and 7.
Playoffs been terrible for me.
I just had to take time to toot my horn
I
because
put
I've never
you
been
on
ahead
there.
of you
Good
guys.
job, Braylon. Good
Congrats,
job,
Braylon.
Braylon.
It's
Good
been
job,
23
Braylon.
weeks, man.
Very
Jesus
good.
Christ.
Very good. Very
All
good.
right.
Sorry, I had to toot my horn.
There it is, baby. Super Bowl 57. It's the Chiefs and the Eagles, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The spread, Philadelphia, a 1.5 point favorite, and the over-under is 51. So we want who you like in the game, who you like to cover the spread in this game, and if you like the over or you like the under. And Emmet, you're our guest. We're going to lead off with you.
All right, guys. So, first, let me tell you, we're going to do the 10% off Tuesday if we win this bet, okay? Me and the boys, we talked about it at the office earlier. We are taking Philly -1.5. And you want me to pick the over and under too?
Yeah, let's do it. But listen, Emmet, before you pick the over under, we'll go Philly -1.5 for the 10% off. How about that? Well, that bet alone can be a standalone bet for the 10% off. But we want a total winner from you as well.
Everybody an under, but I've never bet an under in my life. I'm taking the over.
Overs club only. Yeah. Overs club only. So again, if the Eagles win and cover the 1.5 on Tuesday, a 10% off at Fairway Packing Company, Grosse Pointe Woods Steak Shop. You walk in, you get 10% off. You stock up for the month. You stock up for the year. Go for it. It is going to be a great situation. Okay, 1.5 and 51. Braylon, what do you got?
For the game?
Yep.
Or for the Chiefs and Philly?
Both.
Why would you not bet the best quarterback and the best coach? I'm going with the Chiefs. And as far as the over-under, taking the over. I'm with Big Man on this, Big Emmett. Going with the over on this one.
So Chiefs
all you under guys, man, get out of here.
Chiefs in the over. Maz?
Hey, man, I'm looking for a big Super Bowl, man. I'm with you.
51, they're begging for you to take the over. They're begging for you to take the over on 51. That's why I'm going to take the under, because Philadelphia has given up back-to-back games of 7 points. I know they ain't playing the Giants. They're not playing the Niners with Brock Purdy off the game. I'm sticking. I'm going to take the Chiefs, but I'm going to take the under. Give me Kansas City and the under.
Listen, if you're going to take the under, just say you're going to take the under. Don't say it's going to because what they did in the last 2 games. The freaking the freaking Brock Purdy led.
I know.
Are you serious with that? Patrick Mahomes? Come on, man.
I'm taking the
Patrick
under.
Mahomes can get you more than 25 points.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shock the world here. I'm going to go against everything that I know that I am rooting for. I am rooting for Chiefs in over. That's why I'm taking the Eagles and the under. And a lot of that, Emmett sways me on the Eagles bet because I want that 10% off at Fairway. So I'm going with the Eagles. I got to go with Emmett on this one. So, Emmett, we're going with the Eagles. Absolutely. There we go. All right, so, Emmett, now that we come to the pick segment, we come to the Fairway Packing Big Game Contest. We've been running a contest all week long where one lucky fan was going to win the Fairway Wagyu Sampler Package, $600 value, Imperial Wagyu fillets, boneless ribeyes, boneless New York strips, and burgers, plus Good Charcoal's premium hardwood lump charcoal. Emmett, do we have a winner?
We got a win, Brian. Got a winner.
All right.
His is Mark. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
His name is Mark. All right, his name is Mark Jones.
Mark Jones.
Mark Jones. Mark Jones wins the platter.
Who?
Look at that. There he is.
Mark
Hey,
Jones.
there it is. Working class with some further
Come on down to
education.
the steak shop.
Emmett, keep going. We got a delay here. That's what's killing us. The delay is killing us.
Just talk through it.
Yeah, you talk through me.
Tell Mark what he has to do.
All right, Mark, come on down to the steak shop. See the team down here. We'll get you a nice package. Come in, get what you want, get this sampler, and go home and get your grill ready to go because you're going to be eating good this weekend.
Oh, my goodness. So, Mark.
Real good this weekend. And then we got Philly that covers this spread and wins this game. Everybody's going to be eating good this weekend because we're opening up the stage shop to everybody.
Nice.
Absolutely love it. Hey, Emmett, next week we got to get you in studio. I want to talk all things Fairway with you, and I want you to talk to me about your analysis of Super Bowl 57. So next week, going to have Maz reach out. We'll get you in studio. We'll work out a time, and we'll get you in here and talk because we love your partnership, love your store. It's one of my favorite places on the earth.
It's your favorite.
It is my favorite. Okay. Very fair. So again, if the Eagles win and cover this Tuesday, 10% off at Fairway. Emmett, we love you. Thanks so much, my friend. Fairwaypacking.com.
Love you guys too. Thank
It's going to be
guys.
great.
Thanks, Emmett.
You got it, guys.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Go Fairway.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. I'm rooting for Fairway. That means I'm rooting for the Eagles. Sorry about the connection there, guys. I could sit and talk to Emmett about all that meat and all of the football. He's a big football fan, big bettor as well.
You can tell.
Absolutely.
You know when you're talking to a right bettor. When you just know it.
Absolutely. So, guys, there you go. Braylon Chiefs, Maz Chiefs, me Eagles. Braylon over, Maz and I are on the under. Emmett is Eagles. And the over. All right, guys. So we're going to take a break, come right back. When we do, we did a little something fun yesterday. Going to play it for you. Everybody talks about the Super Bowl foods as part of the spread.
We did our own version of the 9.
We did, and we'll show it to you next. But first, a message from Matrix.
Yes, Matrix Home Solutions is your go-to for any home project. Looking for that new man cave? Well, Matrix has you covered. They are your basement remodel experts that also specialize in bathrooms and kitchens as well. With an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau, why not give them a try? Call them today at 888-594-8844, or as always, you can check them out online at matrixhomesolutions.com.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big Super Party. Wait, we can't say Super. We really can't say. Come join us at our Super Party on Sunday, February 12th, from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports Super Party. Well, our Super Party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet, DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season and enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey guys, welcome back. Final segment of the program before we get to Super Bowl Sunday. And of course, so much, Braylon, of Super Bowl Sunday is the food. And, I work at Fox 2 and we do all of these kitchen segments and cooking segments at Fox 2 as part of the 9, the show that I do at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I said, let's do one here.
Let's do it.
Let's do one here. Talking about some Super Bowl foods. If you really want to impress your guests, we invited Skinny Butcher products here on Woodward Sports, a Michigan company.
Chef Megan.
Chef Megan was great. Love the company as well. If you know anything about Garden Fresh, it's from one of the owners of Garden Fresh, Dave Zilko. This is his company now, Skinny Butcher, and they've got some great products. And here you go. You can't talk about the Super Bowl without talking about the food, right? And look at this spread. We've got our friends here from Skinny Butcher. The chief brand ambassador, Megan Gregory, is with us now. And this is a really big way to elevate your game day experience. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great now, I'll tell you. Tell me a little bit about what you have here, because this is going to really impress your guests.
Yeah, so we have a whole Super Bowl spread that you can pull together in any home. You don't need a chef's kitchen for this. These are using Skinny Butcher plant-based protein chicken, but you will not even understand or know that you're not eating the animal protein. It's made with pea protein. The texture, the flavor, you're not even gonna know the difference, and it's extra crispy, so I can't wait to have you try it.
Braylon, plant-based, are you an expert in this, or are you willing to try it? Come on here.
My mom and my sister, they went vegan, they went heavy plant-based right before 2020. Obviously, we know what happened then. I tried some stuff was okay, but you know what, Ryan? I'll try anything from Miss Gregory.
Yes, we're already winning.
We got to hold Maz back from the sampling.
Come on, man. Let's go.
All right.
What are we going to be doing
Hopefully
today?
you guys are hungry.
Yes.
So over here we have our chicken nuggets and chicken tenders, and I just did some really fun sauces. So I'm going to teach you how to make a homemade ranch, because I don't know about you, but I have never found a bottled ranch that's been my friend. So we're learning how to make homemade. It's really simple. With the fresh herbs, it really elevates it.
Now, again, this is something that everybody can do at home to make your ranch dip. Even if you're just at home getting ready for a Super Bowl party, making a ranch dip, we're starting with the mayonnaise.
That's right. Mayonnaise.
My good
Do you
friend
mind
Dina
handing me that fork over
My
there?
good friend Dina Senafani will say mayonnaise.
So you gotta start with the mayonnaise. Now you can also use vegan mayonnaise, so keep that in mind. We're going vegetarian in this spread, but everything can be substituted. Anything dairy can be substituted for vegan options. So I'm not going to use measuring cups because the chef in me doesn't want to. But I can tell you, we're doing about a cup of mayo. Don't judge it. You're only going to have some dips. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
Is boring.
I agree.
And everything involving food and
I completely agree. We have sour cream. We're going to do about a half a cup of sour cream in here. Okay? That's our base. This is how you make ranch. We're going to take
paying attention down here, Bray.
somebody
garlic.
Extra getting mad at
Absolutely. And I like using a garlic or a microplane just because it gets a nice and not as chunky. You know, you're not going to bite into a large chunk of garlic, but it's going to really lend itself into the sauce. So I've already made a batch of this for you, and it's sitting over here because you want it to sit for an hour or two to really meld the flavors. So we're going to do a quick version, but I would put 3 to 4 garlic cloves in here, okay? I'm going to set this aside just for a second while we get our fresh herbs.
Ooh.
Okay, we're going all the fresh herbs. We have chives, which we are just going to finely, oh, they're flying off my board. These are little slippery chives. So we're just going to cut up some chives. We'd add more in the actual, but let's do about 3 tablespoons of chives into our dish.
Okay.
We are going to add fresh dill. This to me is key.
Okay.
So let's just chop those right off the stems. This is a quick way just to get the top leaves of your dill without having to pull it all off. So you got your stems over here. Rough chop your dill. We'll get that nice and finely minced.
Chives, dill,
and what's your guess?
Parsley.
Yes.
Look at that.
I mean, you could throw every herb in the book in here and it would be delicious. Tarragon, put some.
I was off of that a little bit.
What'd you guess?
I said cilantro.
Okay, well that's coming later. That's coming in a different dish.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to throw in our fresh parsley, nice and minced. I've got a full cutting board here, so we're going to work around that. Okay, fresh parsley in there. Okay, so we're going to get into just a little bit of extra flavor. Worcestershire. You said it right.
And if
oh my
you
gosh,
say
it's a
it right,
hard one for
there's
people to
extra
say
bonus points
sometimes.
there, too.
Love that.
How do you say it right?
Worcester? I don't know. Kind of like Worcester, Mass.
That was Worcestershire.
I love it.
That's what my grandma says.
I think everybody says it a little bit differently.
Worcestershire.
That was just about a teaspoon. Teaspoon.
A little white vinegar.
A little half a teaspoon of white vinegar. We're not going overboard, but that gives it a nice little tang that we love in ranch. And then we're going for our seasonings. We're going to put a little dash of cayenne. A little more if you like more heat.
I'll tell you, if you can make your own ranch
Parsley.
at home, that's a really
good amount of parsley.
That's a big deal.
Add a little salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say parsley? Paprika. I have parsley on my brain still. Paprika. And I have my salt pincher here. A little salt. And what? Oh, I saw this taste close. You know what? We're going to put a little salt in there. Just put a little salt.
So you mix that up.
Whisk
and
it
let
up.
it sit for a little while, and you're going to get that.
Yes. And that is some delicious ranch. And at the end, you do add buttermilk. This is what's going to loosen it up more or less the way that you like it. I did about a quarter cup.
Oh man, I would drink that actually.
Give me a little spoon.
There you go, Maz. Here.
Oh yeah.
There you go. A little bit. This is fantastic. Skinny Butcher website.
Beautiful website, skinnybutcher.com. And a little fun fact, this was actually founded by the former creators of Garden Fresh Gourmet. Which we know Jack's Salsa. We have Jack's Salsa here.
Oh, yeah.
This is the next venture, and we're launching nationally right now.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a long-standing Michigan business. Top of the line, absolutely. Skinny Butcher. Check them out online. Costco. We're gonna check it out right here. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Yes.
Here.
That stuff was really good, man, and I got to thank Justin Slanik and Ryan Lenz.
Yes.
Look, I've been in the television business for 22 years plus. there aren't too many. In fact, I'm thinking of one guy. There aren't too many people that I've worked with more talented than Justin Slanik. I mean, this guy, we are so lucky to have him here at Woodward Sports.
And I made him into a bowler.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
And Braylon turned him into a dinner partner because he's still got to take you to dinner for the bet.
Justin's an amazing guy. Justin and Ryan, both great guys, man. I walked in there and it immediately looked like something. It looked like top of the line, like a production. And this is before you see behind the camera. Now, as I watch it a day later behind the camera, man, kudos to those guys. And yes, Justin is my guy. We're movie buddies, drinking buddies, but also, hey man, you know you owe me a dinner. So, somebody bet on Justin Herbert and somebody bet on Trevor Lawrence. That's all I'm saying.
And Ryan Lentz as well, coming along. I mean, talk about a talented kid. This guy, Ryan Lentz, he does not get shout out enough for his talents here at the network as well. Absolutely. Carolyn Krieger, we love you. Thank you so much. And of course, Chef Megan, it was fantastic meeting you. They're going to be on Fox 2 on Monday. So I get to go round 2 with
what do you got, Meatless Monday?
It's a Meatless Monday. That's right. Hey, you're going to be there as well. You might as well join.
Fox 2, man.
Braylon will be on Fox 2 and do a little Super Bowl.
When do I get my shot?
Well, you want to come, man?
Sure, why not?
You want to come on Monday?
No, I'll come another day.
You'll be still sleeping.
Different day.
All right. Very good. Braylon, get us out of here, my friend.
You got the 10 or is it just the 9?
That is the 9 to 10.
The 10 o'clock hour. The 9 at 10.
Fellas, it is a complete honor to do this show with you guys every day. All 5 of us, JB, Fletch, Maz, Ryan, I love you guys. You guys out there, keep supporting us. We appreciate you. We do it because of you. We appreciate it. We come to work. We come up with these ideas because of you. Go have fun this weekend. Go enjoy the Super Bowl. Go enjoy Saturday. Think about what you did, what made your Super Bowl good, and come in and tell us on Monday. And we'll have a great Monday Super Bowl day after. So enjoy your Super Bowl. Fellas, you too. And we'll see you Monday. We're out of here.
Chiefs, Eagles,
Chiefs. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.